Let's move on to this now. In the courts, a customary law expert took the stand this week in the Vhavenda throne battle in Limpopo, in the Limpopo Division of the High Court in Polokwane. During her testimony, Zamokuhle Mopai said that the research she conducted reveals that Princess Masindi Mphephu is not eligible to ascend the throne as her mother was not married to bear an heir. The Vhavenda royal throne has been vacant for over 7 years now due to the ongoing kingship battle brought to court by Princess Masindi Ramabulana, daughter of the late Tshimangadzo Dimbanyika Mphephu, against former Vhavenda king Toni Mphephu Ramabulana, who was removed from the throne by an order of the Supreme Court of Appeal in 2017. Princess Masindi's legal representative argues that she has been excluded as a successor and heir to the throne by virtue of her being a woman. So let's pick up that story with SABC News reporter Lutendo Bobodi, who joins us now via the line. Lutendo, good afternoon. Let's start with the court proceedings of the last few days. Just recap for us some of the highlights. Was this customary law expert the only witness to testify? And how would you sum up what came out of that evidence?
Yeah, thank you so much, Tulaziva. It was quite an eventful week this week, as usual. It was in April when the case was on, and there was a whole lot of things that came out of the case. And as I said earlier this week, you learn every day. You learn a lot of things, especially in relation with law, the Constitution, customary law, and all that. Of course, this week we saw two witnesses. One was the former king, Toni Mphephu Ramabulana, who was, of course, cross-examined. When the court recessed in April, he was the main witness, and he came back this time around for just a few hours just before lunch. He was cross-examined, but he still insists that he is the right man, and he's the man who was, as you said, entered the throne in 2017 through an order from the Supreme Court of Appeal, and now he's trying to claw his way back to his seat. So he was there, he was cross-examined. He believes that he is the rightful man, is the rightful heir to the throne, since he is from the second most senior house. His mother was second most senior wife when the first house collapsed. When Masindi's father, King Dimbanyika, died, then the throne was then transferred to him. And of course, you also spoke of Zamokuhle Mopai. This is one person who researched a lot extensively about the customary law, not just customary law, but also in particular the Venda customs in terms of traditional leadership, and again in particular the Mphephu Ramabulana customs, because this is, like I said last week, this is different because they are the institution of Masingo and the custodians of the Vhavenda throne. She spoke a lot about how they run the traditional leadership, and she also said, as you said, that Masindi is not eligible because her mother was not a Zekiso wife or a wife that is married for the king to bear an heir, although her grandmother, who was her father's mother, Masindi, after whom she was named, was a Zekiso wife. But when his father died, her father died, Dimbanyika, her father died, then of course, because he was the only child of the Masindi Zekiso wife, then the throne was then transferred to King Dimbanyika. She feels that this is not discrimination or gender discrimination, but it's how things are done, and it's also important and pivotal to preserve the throne and also the bloodline.
Lutendo, before this case even started, we were talking extensively about the question of being born of a Tsekiso wife. And for the benefit of our viewers who may not be following the case closely, I would like you to just talk to that a bit more. It would seem to me, from what I followed of the case in the last few days, that was central in many of the questions and in many of the debates that took place this week.
you're quite right. It's imperative. It's central. You know, you can't debate the issue of kinship without the issue of the Kiso wife. The Kiso wife, as I said, is a wife that is married for the king. As soon as the king ascends the throne, whether he's married or not, they are going to marry a wife for him so that he can bear an heir to the throne, somebody that will succeed him when he dies. And that is very important. So the debate was around that. So the Kiso wife is a very important issue because then the king is born out of that process. So that is why, if you look at this issue, it has been centering around that particular issue.
And in relation to this particular matter, and for absolute clarity, is the question being asked whether or not Princess Masindi was born of a Tsekiso wife as required by Vhavenda customs?
Exactly, and this is the pivot around which the whole case is involving. You know, they believe that when her father became king, she was already born, and that is against the customs of Vhavenda. You know, you have to be born after your father was declared king or was coronated. Then you are eligible to become an heir. And according to Toni Mphephu Ramabulana's lawyer, Masindi was born before her father became king. She was born in 1991 and her father became king in 1993.
I see. But just lastly then, complete the picture for us, Lutendo. She was born before her father became king, but was she born factually, to the extent that we are able to talk of it factually at this point? Did her mother then become the Tsekiso wife when he became king? Is that the facts that have come through or not yet?
Well, that has not come through, but the debate is, first of all, her mother was not a Tsekiso wife. She was not married by the process was not conducted or done by the royal family as customs demand. So basically, she was not. That is according to the Toni Mphephu Ramabulana's lawyer. She was not born out of a Tsekiso wife because her mother was not married after his father became king.
All right. Interesting dynamics playing themselves out in the courts there. That's Lutendo Bobodi, who's watching that court case for us that has been playing itself out in the Limpopo Division of the High Court in Polokwane.